Am I allowed to be in here? Am I allowed to enter? Am I allowed to use this? Am I doing this right? Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Am I talking too fast for you? Am I a suspect? Am I late? Am I right? Am I supposed to be at the meeting on Monday? Am I supposed to be impressed by that? Am I supposed to leave now? Am I the only one here who speaks French? Am I the only one that feels this way? Am I the only one who doesn't agree with you? Are there any cute girls in your class? There are enough chairs to seat 12 people. Are there many Chinese restaurants in Boston? Are you a taxi driver? Are you here on business? Are you in a hurry? Are you able to solve it? Are you able to speak French? Are you able to swim? Are you afraid of death? Are you afraid of dogs? Are you afraid of the dark? Are you going to help me with this or not? Are you going to school today? Are you going to stay in bed all day? Are you interested in football? Are you interested in music? Are you interested in politics? Are you kidding me? Are you looking for someone? Are you planning to stay? Are you ready for dinner? Are you ready for today's exam? Are you ready for tonight? Are you ready to go home now? Are you ready to order? Are you ready to start? Are you really married? Are you really okay? Are you really serious about going to Boston? Are you sure his name was Tom? Are you sure it was me? Are you sure this is Tom's house? Can I ask some questions? Can someone help me? Can we afford a new car? Can you explain this to me? Can you lend me a little money? Can you recommend a good movie? Can you tell me about yourself? Can you tell me how to get to the train station? Can you tell me what I did wrong? Can't we start over? Can't you give us a few minutes? Can't you see we're trying to work? Could I borrow your notes? Could someone hand me a knife? Could you close the door? Could you please drive a little faster? Could you please help me a little? Could you please pass me the pepper? Did I say something wrong? Did somebody mention my name? Did Tom ask you any questions? Did you brush your teeth? Did you do your homework? Did you hear the news? Did you have a fun day with Tom? Did you have a good time? Did you have a nice weekend? Did you know that before? Do you know that Tom's grandfather died of a heart attack? Did you know Tom lived in Boston? Did you tell Tom about seeing Mary in Boston? Did you tell Tom about what Mary did? Did you tell Tom why you want to go to Boston? Did you want to show me something? Did you want to speak to me? Did you want to tell me something? Didn't I warn you about Tom? Didn't you get my message? Didn't you hear what Tom said? Do I have to do it right away? Do I have to sign something? Do I have to take this medicine? Do you actually believe this? Do you actually live here? Do you actually think that's true? Do you always get up before 6? Do you always greet people that way? Do you always have coffee with your breakfast? Do you consider yourself a fluent French speaker? Do you consider yourself an honest person? Do you consider yourself beautiful? Do you ever go swimming? Do you ever sleep? Do you ever work on Sundays? Do you go to church every Sunday? Do you go to college? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a lot of money? Do you have a problem with that? Do you have any idea how dangerous that is? Do you have any idea what it is? Do you have any idea who did it? Do you have anything cheaper? Do you have anything for me? Do you have anything you want to say to us? Do you have something to add? Do you have something to show me? Do you have something you want to tell me? Do you have to do this every time? Do you have to go home now? Do you have to work on Sundays? Do you know a good restaurant? Do you know how to fix this TV? Do you know what it means? Do you like English? Do you like my t-shirt? Do you like tea? Do you like to cook? Do you like to travel? Do you like to watch TV? Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? Do you mind if I open the window? Do you mind if I turn down the TV? Do you need a few minutes? Do you need a place to stay tonight? Do you need an umbrella? Do you need me to do anything? Do you need me to give you some money? Do you need me to go with you? Do you often come here? Do you often go shopping? Do you often talk to yourself? Do you plan to buy that car? Do you plan to go abroad? Do you plan to work until 10? Do you really believe that stuff? Do you really love me? Do you really think I should see a therapist? Do you remember my name? Do you remember the first time you kissed me? Do you remember who I am? Do you still have questions? Do you still play tennis? Do you still trust Tom? Do you think I should buy this house? Do you think I'm right? Do you think it's going to rain tomorrow? Do you understand English? Do you understand how this works? Do you understand what's going on? Do you want a cup of coffee? Do you want children? Do you want this t-shirt? Do you want me to call a doctor? Do you want me to help you with your homework? Do you want me to translate that for you? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to go to the movies? Do you want to know who did this? Does anybody live here? Does she know your phone number? Does Tom drink coffee? Doesn't Mary look cute? Doesn't that sound nice? Doesn't your job start tomorrow? Don't forget to do your homework, okay? Don't go anywhere, okay? Don't tell them the truth, okay? Don't you believe me? Don't you have friends? Don't you know his name? Exactly how does this work? Exactly how old are you? Exactly what kind of work do you do? Excuse me, but may I use the phone? Excuse me, may I come in? Excuse me, what's your name? Have you already decided what you're going to order? Have you already eaten supper? Have you already read this book? Have you been arrested? Have you been fired? Have you been shot? Have you been crying? Have you been helping Tom? Have you been listening to me? Have you decided what you want to order? Have you decided where you're going next summer? Have you decided whether you want to go or not? Have you ever been in love? Have you ever been to Australia? Have you ever lied to your boyfriend? Have you finished reading that book? Have you finished your homework? Have you finished your preparations for the trip? How about a cup of coffee? How about next Saturday? How about you? How about going for a walk? How about playing golf this afternoon? How about taking a rest? How am I supposed to dress? How am I supposed to eat? How am I supposed to help? How are things at school? How are things between you two? How are things going with you? How are we going to do this without Tom's help? How are we going to get enough food for everyone? How are we going to get out of here? How are you going to convince Tom? How are you going to get up to the roof? How are you going to pay for this? How bad did Tom get hurt? How bad do I look? How bad do you want this job? How big is this park? How big is Tom's house? How big is your dog? How can I thank you? How can we know for sure? How can you trust these people? How come you didn't tell Tom about me? How come you know French so well? How come you never told me this before? How could I forget something like that? How could this happen to me? How could we improve it? How deep is that lake? How deep is the hole? How deep is this pool? How did he react to the bad news? How did the movie end? How did you burn your hand? How did you know his name was Tom? How did you know I was in Boston? How did you know we were here? How did you manage to convince Tom? How did you manage to do that without any help? How did you manage to escape? How do I fix this problem? How do we upload photos to your website? How do you decorate your house for Christmas? How do you know how to do that? How do you know that Tom doesn't like Mary? How do you know where I live? How do you like living with your brother? How do you like your new car? How do you plan to handle this problem? How do you plan to help me? How do you say hello in French? How do you say love in French? How do you say thank you in Japanese? How do you think Tom died? How do you think Tom survived? How do you think Tom was able to do that? How does it look? How does it taste? How does it work? How does this work? How does Tom make money? How does your opinion differ from his? How exactly can I help you? How exactly did Tom do that? How exactly was Tom killed? How far are we from your house? How far do we have to go? How far is it to the library from here? How fast can you run? How fast can you walk? How fast does this car go? How has your life changed over the last 3 years? How has your life changed since you got married? How has your life changed? How have you been doing? How have you been feeling? How have you been sleeping? How high can you jump? How high is that building? How high is this mountain? How is this pronounced? How is Tom now? How is your wife? How late did you stay at the party last night? How late do you stay open? How late may I call you? How long ago did it happen? How long ago did you get here? How long ago was this? How long are you going to be in town? How long are you going to live in Boston? How long are you going to stay in Boston? How long can I borrow it? How long can Tom stay here? How long can we wait? How long did it take for the ambulance to arrive? How long did it take you to read this book? How long did it take you to translate this book? How long do butterflies live? How long do I have to wait for the next bus? How long do you plan to stay here? How long do you think it will take to go to the airport? How long do you think it'll take until the pain is totally gone? How long do you think the meeting will last? How long does it take to fly from Boston to Chicago? How long does it take to get to the zoo by taxi? How long does it take to walk to your house from here? How long has it been since the accident? How long has it been since we last met? How long has it been since you slept? How long have you been learning English? How long have you been living on Park Street? How long have you been wearing glasses? How long is that story? How long is this bridge? How long is this movie? How long should I microwave this? How long should I rest? How long should I wait here? How long was Tom in Boston? How long was Tom in the water? How long was your visit? How long were you at the party? How long were you in prison? How long were you there? How long will the meeting last? How long will the storm last? How long will this cold weather last? How many hours a day do you sleep? How many hours a day do you study French? How many hours a week do you work? How many times a day do you eat? How many times did Tom call? How many times have you been to Boston? How many years have you been married? How many years have you been studying French? How many years have you lived here? How much do you earn? How much does this tie cost? How much free time do you have? How much longer are we going to wait? How much longer do we have to stay here? How much longer do you think it'll take? How much money did you make last year? How much money do you have saved up? How much money do you have with you now? How much time do we have before we leave? How much time do you need? How much time do you spend studying French every day? How often do you go swimming? How often do you upload videos to YouTube? How often does Tom see Mary? How old are you? How old is this building? How old is your wife? How old were you when you began to study French? How old were you when you fell in love for the first time? How old were you when you stopped believing in Santa Claus? How soon can I meet Tom? How soon can you get here? How soon does the concert begin? How tall are you? How tall is the Eiffel Tower? How tall is your youngest brother? How was the interview? How was your date with Tom last night? How was your week? How well can you play tennis? How well do you know Tom? How well does Tom speak French? How will I get paid? How will Tom react? How will you help? How would you describe me? How would you do it? How would you like to pay? How's married life going? How's school going? How's your blog going? How's the food at that restaurant? How's your daughter? How's your mother, Tom? Is it okay if I ask another question? Is it okay if I kiss you? Is it okay if we swim here? Is it okay to hug you? Is it okay to sing here? Is it okay to smoke around here? Is it possible to cry underwater? Is it possible to get to Boston by train? Is it possible we've made a mistake? Is it safe to cross this bridge? Is it safe to leave my suitcase here? Is it safe to swim in this river? Is it time to eat? Is it time to go? Is it time to leave? Is it true that Mary killed her husband? Is it true that Tom is dating a Japanese girl? Is it true that you kissed Tom? Is there a cash machine near here? Is there a chance this will happen again? Is there a supermarket near your house? Is there any chance that Tom can win? Is there any chance that Tom will be at tonight's party? Is there any chance you could be ready in an hour? Is there any place around here where I can cash a check? Is there any place around here where I can rent a bicycle? Is there any place around here where we can get something to eat? Is there anyone here who can speak French? Is there anyone here who disagrees? Is there anyone here who knows Tom? Let me finish, okay? Let me know where you're staying, okay? Let me look at this again, okay? Let's pretend that nothing happened. Let's take a break, okay? Let's try and stay calm, okay? May I ask a personal question? May I have a piece of it? May I speak to you for a minute? Shall I close the door? Shall we begin now? Shall we take a taxi? Should I go with you? Should we wait for Tom? Should you be here? Shouldn't this be in the refrigerator? Shouldn't we ask Tom? Shouldn't you be at school now? Was anyone in the room? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. What about next Sunday? What about this dress? What about you? What am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to tell them? What am I supposed to think? What are my options? What are the symptoms of meningitis? What are your plans for this weekend? What are the chances of this ever happening again? What are the chances that Tom will actually come? What are the chances that we'll have a white Christmas? What are you cooking today? What are you thinking of? What are you watching? What are you going to be in the future? What are you going to do this weekend? What are you going to wear to the party tonight? What can I do to make you happy? What can you give me? What can you tell me about that? What caused the budget deficit? What caused the fire? What caused the war? What color is your car? What color is your dress? What color is your hair? What could I do? What could I give Tom for his birthday? What could I say? What did you buy Tom for Christmas? What did you have for lunch? What did you think of the wedding? What do I have to be afraid of? What do I have to do in return? What do I have to say to convince you? What do I say first? What do they want to talk about? What do you advise? What do you know about Australia? What do you know about this place? What do you know about Tom's girlfriend? What do you think I should say? What do you think she is doing now? What do you think you'll do next? What do you want me to ask Tom? What do you want me to do now? What do you want me to help you with? What do you want to drink with your meal? What do you want to have for lunch? What do you want to study at college? What does EC stand for? What does PTA stand for? What does SFX stand for? What does he plan to do? What does Tom do for work? What does your house look like? What else are you planning to do? What else can you tell me about Tom? What else did you miss? What exactly are you looking for? What exactly did you see? What exactly was your problem? What happens if I press this button? What happens if Tom doesn't show up? What happens if we get caught? What if I refuse? What if it's too late? What if Tom is wrong? What is aspirin made of? What is butter made of? What is it made of? What kind of books do you read? What kind of food do you usually eat? What kind of music do you listen to? What made her do that? What made Tom mad? What made you come here? What makes you cry? What makes you smile? What made you so sad? What makes you so sure that this won't happen again? What makes you so sure that Tom won't be here tonight? What makes you so sure Tom likes you? What makes you think I like you? What makes you think I'm lying? What makes you think Tom did this? What more can I ask? What more can we do? What more can you tell us about Tom? What more do I need? What more do you require? What more does Tom want? What should I do if Tom calls? What should I write here? What should we do next? What sort of person is Tom? What sort of danger is there? What sort of man is Tom? What time are you meeting Tom? What time did you go to bed yesterday? What time do you leave for school? What time do you think Tom will be back? What time do you think Tom will get home? What time do you think you'll likely arrive? What time do you usually get up on Saturday? What time do you usually go to bed? What time do you usually return home? What time do you walk the dog? What time do you want to leave? What time do you want me to pick you up? What time does the restaurant close? What time does the bank open? What time does your first class start? What time should I check in? What time should I wake you up? What time should we be there? What time will dinner be served? What time will a flight arrive in Boston? What time will you come tomorrow? What was so funny? What was that noise? What was wrong with you? What was the first concert you went to? What was the first word you learned in French? What was the last movie you saw? What was the name of that little shop in Boston where Tom worked? What was the name of the hotel where you stayed in Boston last year? What was the name of the movie we saw last night? What was Tom doing in your room? What was Tom eating? What was Tom wearing? What would happen if I pushed this button? What would Tom say if he walked in right now? What would you do if you had $1 billion? What would I do without you? What would Tom say? What would you advise me to do? What would you like to do in the future? What would you like to hear? What would you like to know? What would have happened if Tom had come? What would have happened if Tom had seen us? What would have happened if Tom hadn't done that? What's the best cure for loneliness? What's the best thing you've ever gotten for Christmas? What's the best way to contact you? What's the difference between jam and marmalade? What's the difference between religion and philosophy? What's the difference? What's the name of this place? What's the name of your dog? What's the name of your son? What's the point of all this? What's the point of arguing? What's the point of coming here? What's the use of talking? What's the use of worrying? What's the use? What's the worst injury you've ever had? What's the worst movie you've ever seen? What's the worst thing you've ever done? What's wrong with my computer? What's wrong with reading comic books? What's wrong with wearing pink? What's your favorite book? What's your favorite kind of music? What's your favorite video game? When are we going to do it? When are we going to start eating? When are we going to tell Tom? When are we leaving? When are you coming back to Boston? When are you planning to tell Tom? When can I see you again? When can we start? When can you come to my house? When did it begin to rain? When did she promise to meet him? When did you buy this car? When did you begin learning French? When did you start making money playing music? When did you start working for Tom? When do I get paid? When do the shops open? When do you go to work? When does the bus leave? When does Tom usually go to the gym? When does your vacation start? When is a good time for you? When is your bedtime? When is your birthday? When is the next bus to Park Street? When is the next flight to Boston? When is the next train for Boston? When should I come pick you up tomorrow? When should I feed the dog? When should we check out? When was the last time that happened? When was the last time you had your hair cut? When was the last time you went to an amusement park? Where were you born? When were you in Australia? When were you there? Where are my books? Where are the kids? Where are your car keys? Where can I find an ATM? Where can I throw these eggshells? Where can we park the car? Where did I put my keys? Where did Tom learn French? Where did you see that woman? Where do I start? Where do we get the textbooks? Where do you plan to go? Where does it hurt? Where does this path go? Where does Tom work? Where exactly are we going? Where exactly did this happen? Where exactly is your house? Where is an ATM? Where is the bathroom? Where's your room? Where is Tom going? Where is Tom sleeping? Where is Tom working now? Where should I put my coat? Where should I sign? Where should we start? Where were you when it happened? Where were you when the fire broke out? Where were you when Tom needed help? Where will you be on Monday? Where will you stay when you go to Boston? Where will your party be?
Where would you like to go first?
Where would you like to work? Where would you want to live?
Which do you like better, Coke or Pepsi?
Which do you like better, summer or winter? Which do you like better, tea or coffee? Which do you prefer, dogs or cats? Or autumn? Which do you prefer, spring?
Which do you prefer, white wine or red wine?
Which one do you think I should buy?
Which one do you think is correct?
Which one do you think Tom is going to buy? Which one is best? Which one is good? Which one is ours? Which one would you choose? Which one would you like? Which one would you prefer? Who are the others?
Who are these people?
Who are those three women? Who are you going to dinner with? Who are you going to send that to? Who are you going to vote for? Who are you talking about? What are you waiting for? Who are you working for? Who do you know here? Who do you love? Who do you trust? Who's your favorite American actor? Who's your favorite movie star? Who's your favorite singer? Whose turn is it to cook tonight?
Whose turn is it to give the dog a bath?
Whose turn is it to wash the dishes?
Why are you always late for school?
Why are you always so busy? Why are you always so rude to Tom? Why did you become a doctor? Why did you break up with Tom? Why did you decide to learn French? Why do you come here? Why do you hate Tom? Why do you live alone? Will you do it for me? Will you help me pack my suitcase? Will you study tomorrow? Would it be okay if I didn't invite Tom to my party? Would it be okay if I drank a little more tea? Would it be okay if I turned off the lights? Would you like a cup of tea? Would you like another sandwich?
Would you like some more cake?
Would you like me to call you a cab? Would you like me to help you do that? Would you like me to switch on the light? Would you like to ask me something else? Would you like to go see a movie or something? Would you like to take a break? Would you mind closing the window? Would you mind giving us a minute? Would you mind sharing your table? Would you mind if I change subjects? Would you mind if I sleep here tonight? Would you mind if I walk with you?